Hey guys, Random Kappa here, and as promised, I'm going to read off this list that I found on Tumblr with all the different genders that they're trying to claim exist. So this is going to be a fun challenge, and I think to get this a little bit more interesting, I'm going to try to read this off, and I'm going to try to not laugh as I read off the description, because some of these are just absolutely hilarious. But, yeah, consider this a sort of try not to laugh challenge as I read this off, so, this ought to be fun. Let's get right to it. Alright, so let's see what we're starting with. The one that's really hard to pronounce. Okay. A bime generate. Jesus Christ, I can't even word things today. A bime gender? A gender that is profound, deep, and infinite. Meant to resemble when one mirror is reflecting into another mirror, creating an infinite paradox. What a deep gender that is, let me tell you. Very deep. Very profound. A Dama's gender. A gender which refuses to be categorized. Aerogender. A gender that is influenced by your surroundings. So, I guess if you're in, like, a jungle, all of a sudden, you feel like a dude. But if you're in the desert, you know, just by chance, it's like, oh, you know, I feel like a chick today, you know? Aesthetic gender, a gender that is derived from an aesthetic, also known as vid gender. Vide gender? I don't know. Basically, you are what you look like. So if you look like a chick, you are a chick. If you look like a dude, you are a dude. That's what I'm getting from this. Okay. There's my good old friend. Affect you gender. A gender that is affected by mood swings. You know, as somebody that has mood swings, maybe I should start going around saying I'm affect you gender. Why are all of these hard to pronounce? Agender, my lovely friend that I was talking about in the last video. The feeling of no gender / absence of gender or neutral gender. You're basically a void. You are a black hole of existence. I guess. Agender flux. Being agender and having fluctuating feelings of masculinity and femininity. But not male or female, because that's not the same thing. Alexit gender. A gender that is fluid between more than one gender, but the individual cannot tell what those genders are. So basically it's, whoever doesn't know what male or female even means, then you might be Alexa gender, you know? Alias gender, a gender which is removed from common gender descriptors and guidelines, so it's a whole special snowflake gender. It is that. Amari gender, I'm probably mispronouncing all of these, by the way, but it's, I mean, can you believe me? Really? Amari gender, a gender that changes depending on who you're in love with. So if you're in love with a chick, you could be a chick, or maybe you could be a dude when you're in love with a chick. But if you're in love with a male, you could be female or whatever. I guess this is really, really odd, to say the least. Ambigender, defined as having the feeling of two genders simultaneously without fluctuation, meant to reflect the concept of being ambidextrous, only with gender, so I'm male and female at the same time, thank you. I have both things down there. I mean, well, when it comes to these people on Tumblr, they don't, but you get the idea. Ambonic, identifying as both man and woman, yet neither at the same time, so it's kind of a paradox. You know, I thought we had a paradox gender already, but a Maka gender, or a Micah gender, or whatever, a gender that changes depending on which friend you're with. So if I'm with John, for instance, good old John, I'm female, but if I'm with Dick, I'm the opposite. So, you know, it's good. It's a good system. Androgyny, which is sometimes used in the case of androgynous presentation, describes the feeling of being a mix of both masculine and feminine and sometimes neutral gender qualities. I mean, I've heard of that one as someone who's been on the internet for quite a while and visited certain sites, but, you know, it's, I don't know if that should be its own gender, really, but, alright. unacid gender, feeling like a certain gender, yet being more comfortable identifying with another. So, if I were to sit here and say I am a dude, but I feel more comfortable identifying with female, that's not being transgender, that's being unacid gender, or whatever the fuck this is supposed to be. Alright, good to know. I'll use that in the future, because, yeah, it sounds about right, yeah. Angenital, a desire to be without primary sexual characteristics, without necessarily being genderless. One may be both agenital and identify as another gender alongside. So if you feel like going snip snip entirely down there and just be like, yeah, no, I'm a dude, but I don't have anything down there, I'm like an action figure, that's the one for you. Andogender, a gender that fades in and out, but always comes back to the same feeling. Ooh. I mean, that could give the very first one a run for its money with how deep and profound that could be. Anon gender, a gender which is unknown to both yourself and others. I don't think that really needs anything said about it, really. Anti-gender, a protein gender, which is the I fucking feel a protein gender. What the fuck is a protein gender? Alright. Which has the potential to be anything, but is formless and motionless, and therefore does not manifest as a particular gender. So water is anti-gender. Jesus. Anxiety gender, a gender that is affected by anxiety. So if you're like really stressed out, you're female, but when you're cool and collected, you're male, I guess. Apagender, a feeling of apathy towards one's gender, which leads to them not looking further into it. For all the edgy teens out there, you know. All the edgy Tumblr zombies. Apconsu gender, a gender where you know what it isn't, but not what it is. The gender is hiding itself from you. Because gender is a sentient being all of a sudden. Astergender, a gender that feels bright and celestial. Okay. Astral gender, a gender that feels connected to space. So the Space Corps has its own gender. That is good to know. Possible trigger warning. Autigender. A gender that can only be understood in the context of being autistic. Meant for autistic people only. So, all of a sudden, autistic people have their own gender. I feel like I'm slowly but surely dying inside as I'm looking at all of these, so I think I'll end this when I get through all the ones that end with A, because believe it or not, these are not the only ones. These are all in alphabetical order. And I will provide the link to this list on Tumblr for all these genders in the description. And you can check it out, the rest of these yourself, because honestly, they are hilarious, to be quite honest with you. Autogender, a gender experience that is deeply personal to oneself. Axigender, when a person experiences two genders that sit on opposite ends of an axis, one being a gender and the other being any other gender. These genders are experienced one at a time with no overlapping and with very short transition time. And that is the end of all the genders that begin with A on Tumblr. So I hope you enjoyed dying inside like I have, reading all this, and knowing that people on Tumblr actually believe this. So, oh my god, so I'm gonna end it here. So, what have we learned today? We've learned that there is little hope left in humanity if this entire thing is the generation we're leaving behind. So, yeah, this has been Rain Loving Kappa, and if you excuse me, I think I'm gonna build my own version of the gallows and just, hang around after reading all this. So yeah, take care, see you later.